I don't know why or how so we streaming now. People see. So every time I stream, I got to go in and make it public first. Don't ask me why.
Which joints you streaming on?
All of them. Facebook, everything.
Facebook, man.
Yeah, so it makes me change the
Yeah, that's dope.
I gotta go in and change the settings. Edit the privacy, public, send it to everybody.
Yeah, because I think last time I couldn't see it was
yeah,
I was looking at the first instead of the FLi page.
So it's on all of them, but see, like I said, when I go in, it'll lock me out. So you have to go in and manually make it public before it'll work.
But even when I was on one, like when I went to the other one, I could see more comments on that one. You see what I'm saying?
See, I gotta figure all that shit out.
Then I went to the FLi page joint, and it was mad comments on there because I saw a bunch of people on there watching, but I ain't see no comments.
So I think each individual page is an individual stream on here. So so I've got like the FLi page, the Rich Rogers Presents, then the YouTube channel, and all of those have different shit coming in. On my side, I can see all the comments coming up on the right side of my screen, and then I can click on them and put them on the main screen.
So what's the joint? Oh,
what's
that's
the what
YouTube.
Now?
Okay, so it say connect to YouTube. It was asking to join.
Yep, we on all that shit. We on all of that. Then I could put the banner down the bottom, the FLi Football League banner, while people getting on.
No, that's dope.
So, people loading up, but long story short, we going over X Factor. We're gonna talk about X Factor. We're gonna talk about y'all 7-on-7 season. I gotta understand. I don't understand what y'all got going on really down there. So I just got some questions about like how y'all leagues run for the 7-on-7. Like, is it going through UIF? Like that type of questions. Like just what y'all doing. If y'all doing any outside tournaments, any of that work, and what tournaments y'all got coming up.
Yeah, to be honest, I ain't even gonna have some of the answers to those because
you don't even know yet.
I mean, I know what tournaments we playing in, but I don't know all the details. Coach.
Okay.
Man, to be honest, man, I don't consider myself a coach. You know what I mean?
Bro.
I know I coach, but I'm not. I work with the quarterbacks, man, and I'm
Coach Dub.
Listen, I'm busy, bro. I'm busy, and them boys handle everything. But I just don't know like what league is going through. I know we're playing in like one tournament each month.
Okay.
At our first tournament next Saturday in Manassas.
Are they pretty much local though?
Nah, I think we go. I want to say we go to North Carolina. I think we go to DC. I think we go. It's got an echo on it.
Hold on.
I think we're going.
I don't know why I just started making noise. I'm trying to share it.
I think we're going.
Why? That's me. Hold on.
Yeah, that's you. Who that? T. Ross.
Tori on it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in all these groups. We're gonna share it everywhere. We share it.
Ross, where you at now, man? Get back in Mississippi?
Prop stream, Gay Herd, Black and Tulum. I don't want to set it there. Youth football tournaments, Hampton Road High School, National Youth Football Tournament, Florida Coast. I'm putting us everywhere. We streaming, baby. Come on in the house. CBL hype page, FLi Football 7-on-7. What else we got? I think that's about it. AYF coaches. Shit. All right, that's enough. I shared it about 20 times. All right, so we running up. We got I'm gonna do a quick intro. We got about 10 folks on here. People to come on, join. Sharing is Karen. Go ahead and put it up. So everybody knows at this point, I like to come on a couple times a week. FLi Conversations. We're gonna talk football, sports, parenting, life, all types of things. Excuse me. Today I was able to get my dog to have a little free time to come and join us. My guy Adrian Dub Warren. It's the reverse because last time you was interviewing me on the documentary, so that was like, hey, I'm gonna get his ass back, bro, with the questions, right? I get to get back on the other side. So Dub played with me in North Carolina Central. A lot of folks know. Transferred in from West Virginia. We used to play basketball at West Virginia though, right?
No, I was playing football.
You play football too? Your ass played basketball at Central. Yes, was nice. 2-sport athlete. Damn, going crazy. A little different. That's a little different. College. So I had to do my research. I'm on my standing, my Club Shay Shay shit. You know what I'm saying? So I looked up and 48 touchdowns, 4,676 yards as QB, bro. And then back-to-back CIAA champions. So did you get 3?
Nah, remember I left after the first one.
Yeah.
That was all just in 3 years. I only played 3 years.
I know.
My first year I played basketball.
Yeah.
That's how I got Coach Spence, man. Shout out to Coach Spence, North Carolina State legend. He played with David Thompson at NC State. And he was the head coach at NCCU for the basketball. When I left West Virginia, I was home, bro. I was home just trying to figure out life. And Sean was playing up there, Sean Ray. And me and Sean, my right hand.
Oh my dog.
We were just up there hooping, working out, man. And Coach Spence, he coached at East Wake because I went to Athens. So he coached at kind of like a rival high school. And he just asked what I was doing, man, did a little workout, and he offered me a scholarship right on the spot. So that was kind of like my way into Central. But then once I got out and they had me playing the 4 at 6'5", that shit won't work.
That shit ain't working.
Nah,
basketball is a different beast, bro. You know what I'm saying? You like the transition from high school, being a 6'5", playing the 4, playing the 5, and then going to the next level where that's a 2. You know what I'm saying? And then shit, you at Central where I know you was seeing some shit at the 4 at 6'5".
Man, that's when Flip was playing at remember Flip Murray?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Flip was playing. Who else was playing? Man, there was a lot of people in the CI, a lot of hoopers. For sure.
CIAA this weekend. You ain't fooling with it? You going to Baltimore?
Damn, it's this weekend?
It's this weekend. And guess our tournament is this weekend.
Mm.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, they moved it to Sunday. I meant to tell you they moved it to Sunday.
Man, I haven't been to the CIAA basketball tournament since I played in it, bro. I like homecoming. Homecoming is my thing. I ain't really a big
well, when you were playing in the tournament, that's when the shit was the most lit for me. Because Raleigh, when it was in Raleigh, bro, that joint, it'll never be like that again. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Those are those, you know what I'm saying? Like documentary, they need that. The CIAA needs its own documentary. Y'all want to talk about the BMF and Freaknik and all of that, man? Listen, CIAA.
Even when it was in Charlotte, man. You know what I mean? Charlotte was dope. Raleigh was real dope because that's my hometown. So it was cool playing at the crib, man, in front of family and all that. But I don't really do the CIAA tournament, man. I prefer homecoming. That's my thing.
Well, I'm from Baltimore. I haven't been yet since it's in B-More. But we got the tournament this weekend, 7-on-7, level 82, with Torrey Smith. Gonna be some good bump up there this weekend. They just moved it because it's supposed to rain Saturday, so they just moved it to Sunday.
Okay.
So I know you was asking about
what age groups do you guys have? So
we just doing 10U right now.
Okay, 10.
The 12U, we got a few. We just didn't have enough bodies for 12U, right? Because of basketball season. Basketball is, hindsight's 2020, but this going next year with a little bit more experience for this part of the year, everybody's locked into basketball. So hopefully we got some folks that start putting some 7-on-7 stuff together so we can put more local bump. Right. But we'll probably do 2 tournaments and I'll look more at the basketball schedule because RJ got decent size on him. He not small, but he ain't big. So I ain't tripping on him in basketball. Like that's fun for him. But you know, so many folks want their kids to play. Some of them have, aspirations to get out there and do some things. Oh, there go Tory right there.
Yeah, I seen T Ross.
No, man, I ain't having on.
It's tough doing 7-on-7 and basketball. King doing both right now. So, I mean, most of the basketball games are on Sundays.
Sunday, yeah.
And some of the tournaments 7-on-7 might be Saturday and Sunday, or you got to travel. So, I like to let I like to let my son play different sports. He loves basketball better than he does football. So, I'm the type of dad who I'm gonna let my child do what he wants to do, whatever makes him happy. But if we can do both, we'll do both. But when
Is
it's
he
in
playing
season,
baseball this year?
nah, thank God. Thank God. That shit was bro, the shit was so boring. And I'm not against baseball, but it's just hard. It's hard to sit out there for 2-3 hours and they playing tournaments and you talk about some bread and traveling. Man, listen, that travel baseball is different. So he not playing this year. Nah, he said it was too slow for him.
Well, I love him grabbing onto that quarterback position. I wanted to pass on that we talked about, RJ wanted to play quarterback and not being able to really, for me, playing a DB, being able to kind of coach him up as much and knowing that I needed to go outside to get that help. I just know that that's a beautiful thing for you to be watching your boy sprout and then embrace the position looking good and you able to actually teach him being there, being a highly successful quarterback, championship quarterback, and like your numbers over 4,000 yards, man. That's got to be great to see King embracing that. I can't wait to see like his growth. He got great size. He got the mindset. He's always had the mindset to me since, you know what I'm saying? Even when you would just get started, I remember we was talking. He was like, I ain't putting him out there yet. I was like, put his ass out there. This family business, y'all. Let's get it. And just to watch how he's gone and take it to the game. And I think that was good, too, because it made him want the game more. Whether you did it on purpose or not, he really wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? And so he's taking that shit serious, man. Y'all getting in that work.
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's fun to, and I a lot of people will try and make their kids play the position they played. I let my kids pick and choose, man. Me and them, we support them in whatever they want to do. And to be honest, King want to play receiver. That's what he likes to do. But he's always had one of the strongest arms on the team, and he's usually. And there's no knock against other kids, but he's a very smart kid. He can get offenses, pick offenses up. He catches on to things quick. I mean, for instance, this last year, he played on one team for four games. We went to the Bulls, and I mean, he learned a whole new offense, within a month, and was comfortable with it. So it's definitely cool to be able to do it. I enjoy it just because I enjoy being around the game, man. And any father who played, who plays sports is going to want to see their boy playing, and if they play in the same position, that's kind of just a bonus on top of that. So I just like to work, bro. I'm all about it. You know what I mean? He got a great work ethic. We at a point right now where we starting to bump heads a little bit because he's starting to stick his chest out a little bit. He's smelling himself a little bit. So I'm trying to push him and get him with different trainers because I still got to be a dad first. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to ruin our relationship as father and son because I'm pushing him too hard at quarterback. But I also talk with him, bro. I'll ask him, like, before we go work out, I'll be like, man, you good? Are you cool? Am I doing too much? Am I pushing you too hard? And he'll be honest with me. You know what I mean? He's straight up with me. And I feel like that's important because I don't never really want to damage our relationship over some sports. Because at the end of the day, it's still a game.
Absolutely. And that you said something that's super important, like having a conversation with him. Because we both intense dads, especially when you're talking about a game that we played at a high level and we know our kids' potential and we know what they have potential to do. And we know when they're just not following through, when they're just not, and we can tend to be a little hard, but they're still kids, right?
Right.
So, they didn't read the first time they got on the book and learned to read. They're not going to write. Their penmanship's not going to be perfect. Their first time, second time, third time. We can't expect to tell them something on the field and then to get it right immediately as well. So we got to have that same mindset. So it was important because I had to do the same thing with RJ. Like, look, dude, like, you think daddy too hard? And he was like, yeah, you be kind of on me a little bit. So I backed off. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I backed off, figuring out how to coach him because, as much as, like you said, it's important not to burn that father-son relationship for the coach relationship, but being able to maintain it at a high level where you can coach him as well as be able to maintain that father relationship you gotta be. That's the best combination. I know some people that just be like, I just can't do it. I'm gonna just send him to somebody else, which is cool, right? If you can't, you got to know yourself. But at the end of the day,
send them too. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people out here you don't want to send your child to because they may not necessarily be teaching them the right thing. And not to say that I know everything, bro. I know a lot about the position because I played it. And any quarterback who plays on a collegiate level, you have to have a certain amount of hours of film that you watch, a certain knowledge of the game, and not just the quarterback position. Everybody know you play quarterback, you got to know what everybody does on the field. That helps you understand the game more. So I push him, but I try to remember that he's only 9 years old. And also, man, you never know. 2 years down the road, man, your kid might not even want to play football, bro. Like I said, we live in the moment. If he's with it now and he enjoys it and he wants me to work with him, which we've done since he was 3-4 years old, I'm with it. I get him to other coaches because I also know I saw him. It would be things that I tell him, and then I go get him with like a Coach Larry or Coach G, the coach for the Bulls. And the same shit I told him 2 days ago that he totally ignored. When one of them say something to him, he like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So sometimes it's received better from somebody else because they get so used to hearing your voice. I just think it's good to get them to other coaches. And also it's things that other coaches may be able to teach them that I don't know. Nobody knows everything, bro, when it comes to coaching or a particular position. So I feel like the more coaches he's around, the more good coaches that he's around, it's going to do nothing but benefit.
And I mean, that goes back to like, I did the first one. You're not a quarterback. That was my little clip. So yeah, it goes like training is important, and you gotta have that. Like you gotta seek out, find high quality trainers for your kids because as my guy Kevin said, you got to be selective who you put them with, and then you'll be more comfortable letting the reins go. Right, half of the battle of going in. I know both of us have talked about the level of coaching and some of the things that we see from the coaching that we weren't happy with, the things that we didn't like, and saying, okay, boom, I have to step in and make sure that I insert myself into this equation because I don't want him to catch the bad habits. I don't want the bullshit. And I just want to keep an eye on his ass and what you are teaching him because I want to make sure that it's the right thing. And so, yeah, you gotta have that side of it early, and some of those coaches do not say only, but some of their best ability is their availability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that the kids are getting taught the right thing, man. So we're not having to fix a bunch of bad habits, man.
I mean, you got to understand at the end of the day, man, youth sports is mainly volunteers. Like, you may have some coaches who are former players. You may have some coaches who, they may be a little bit older and they're retired and they just like to be around kids and help kids. But the majority of the people out here coaching are volunteers. So I salute anybody who's out here working for free, dealing with all them badass kids all week long. Cause it's a lot, man. It can become a lot. We at the end of one day a week, I say FTK, and I think you know what that stands for. I ain't gonna say it on the live, but it's just I get frustrated with my own kids. So anybody who can go out and spend 8 to 10 hours of time, free time that they could probably be doing something else and teaching kids and trying to keep them off the streets, man, I salute them. But yes, if I see something wrong that I know is wrong, then I'm gonna step in and try and correct it because some habits are hard to break, bro. Especially at the quarterback position. You pick up on a bad throwing motion or bad footwork, or if you do something long enough, it's harder to get rid of it.
Yeah, man. So. Quarterback is one of those positions where you got to catch that stuff early, man. Early. And sometimes if you have a kid that like you just allow them to just keep doing that same thing over and over again, year in and year out, throwing in the backyard, throwing with dad. And if dad doesn't really know, it's not that you're doing something that you're not trying to hurt them. You're not trying to do it on purpose. You're just not knowing what you don't know. So now you've got, though, my son can throw the ball the length of the field, but your son dropping the ball down to his waist and coming with a long wind up like he's playing baseball. And so that doesn't translate when you got to get the ball out because these safeties are reading and the safeties are going to come quicker and they'll be able to break up on that ball. So just because he can throw far does not mean that that's going to, that's good technique or that's going to translate. So it's just QB is a tough one, man. It's RJ still loves it. But he's the same way he want to play receiver now.
Right. But even like I think as a father and a coach, you got to be man enough and throw your ego out the door to be able to admit when you don't know something. Like you can come to me and ask me about O-line. I'm gonna tell you I don't know shit. I can't teach your kid that. I understand how to shift a line and move a line as far as protection goes. But when it comes to positioning and footwork and blocking and hand technique, I don't know that. So
never done it.
I'm not, and I don't know. And I think a lot of these coaches, their ego kind of get in the way. You know what I mean? That's one thing I love about our coaching staff, man. It's no ego.
Yeah.
No ego. And we even try and work it to where I try not to correct King during practice. I let G handle him. And you know, G son Nick, we try and pass each other kids because it's like 8 of us with kids on the team. Daddy ball, you know what I mean? But I think we do a good job of letting somebody else teach your kid, correct your kid, and just get it from somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
It is balancing. So
yeah,
I'm gonna throw you a little loop, and I know we've had these conversations. Ain't gonna be nothing crazy, but you know, both of us are single dads as well, and we talk about balancing the schedule with the kids, and in training schedules. You have 2, so it's twice as hard for you as it is for me. So double big ups. But the importance of communication and the co-parenting with this, man. Like we're gonna touch it. I was gonna throw a little something in there, man, but I know
nah, man. I think it's huge, bro. Listen, I'm gonna be 44 in May, right?
Yep.
The majority of coaches on my team probably like anywhere from like 26 to 30. So it's a lot of young coaches, man. Some of them single, the majority of them are single or may have a baby mom or be in a situation where they were in a relationship, but they're no longer in a relationship. And this isn't just for my coaches, but not to put anybody personal business out there, but I see a lot of younger coaches going through what I went through as far as co-parenting goes. Man, if you don't have a solid relationship with your child's mother, that can damage your kid. I'm talking about to the max level.
It'll kill it.
Yeah, it'll kill it. It's important. I think it's important for just the way they view and can see you and the mother communicate. You know, if I sit around and I'm talking shit about my kid's mom all day long, you know, how does that look? Even if I don't like them, even if I don't like you got to be man enough to put the child first when it comes to co-parenting. That's going to put the child in a better mental space. They're going to have a better view on how to possibly, I mean, they may get older and have a relationship that may not work out. And they may look back and be like, you know what? My mom and dad's relationship didn't work out, but they were cool. Bro, me and my kid's mom, we had events. My kid's mom is cool with my girl. You know, they go hang out when we ain't together. I want it like that because I know that's going to make things better for the child. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, I think one thing, if I had to give a bit of advice to anybody going through, and it's funny because I was just watching what's the dude's name? Ashley Larry. He got the little comedy special, right? And he was talking, Ashley Larry from the Dave Chappelle show. He got the little comedy special. So he was saying, yeah, when you first get out of the relationship, it's real tough because it's feelings involved. It's a little weird. At first, because it ain't really done yet, or it's almost done, or somebody got something going on. So whether she got feelings or you got feelings, it's sometimes it's shit that goes on that ain't got nothing to do with the kid, right?
Man, let's be honest. You don't like I don't like your ass.
Right.
Nobody gonna like somebody as soon as they split, bro. It's hard.
But I mean, but at the same time, sometimes it's some leftover feelings or like some type of, what I'm saying, whatever from somebody, like where somebody's being spiteful about something. You see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily in either one of our situations, but I mean, I just hear where people just will keep the kids away from the daddy because they mad at the daddy or whatever. But like, eventually, I know if you continue to chip at it and make the effort, being the bigger person is going to always, eventually that person, if they, I mean, unless you just had a baby with a nutcase, which some of us do. So unless you just had a baby with a complete nutcase, if you are killing with kindness and reaching to and explaining, like, you know, what we're trying to do from a co-parenting perspective, it's gonna get better.
Right.
It gets better over time. Like, you're not gonna split, and in the first few months, you and your baby mama couldn't be chilling with your new girl and all of that shit. It's not gonna happen that way. It's not one of those things. So we have to make sure that we see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, that all right, this is gonna be a time frame. And with the emotions, sometimes you can be in your head and you can start tapping in and chipping back. You know, something chippy comes your way, you want to spit back, or you want to give that same energy back. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should get better. Continue to make efforts to make it better for the sake of the child, like you said. And unless they're in that case, absolutely. With some people deal with that, and I feel sorry for them because I see some craziness, man. I see people that can't see their kids, man. It's wild out here.
But they ain't doing nothing but hurting a child, man. Look, when you say time, like, I mean, it took us 2 years. It took us 2 years to get on the same page. And we weren't necessarily, it was never like no beef, but there was a lot of petty shit going on. You know what I mean? There was a lot of shit going on. But I think one thing is you gotta work on yourself first when you come out of a situation like that. It's already a lot of emotion and anger and stuff built up, especially if you're on the short end of the stick when it comes to your kids. Like, I see a lot of dads out here, man, who are great fathers, bro. Great fathers, and got to deal with a woman doing shit out of spite, keeping their kid or their son away from that guy or that man. And it's doing nothing but hurting the kid. And a man can only take so much of that. You know what I mean? But like you said, killing them with kindness. I have conversations with a few of the guys I know around here who are going through that situation. Like, listen, I know you pissed. I know she's doing petty shit. Just keep showing up. Keep, when you get time with them, you know what I mean? Do what you're supposed to do. And even try and do stuff for her. Eventually they'll fold, bro. They will fold. If you don't buy into the bullshit, you try and be nice, even though it may kill you to be nice, doing all that petty shit. Your child at the end of the day is the main goal, right? So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get my child back in my life at least 50% of the time. But it don't do nothing. But it's so many kids I see in youth football without fathers, bro. I've been to sidelines at practices where it's nothing but single moms. And then I've been to sidelines at practices where it's all dads. Then I've been to sidelines at practices where it's dads and the mom, and they got a solid relationship. They're able to be around each other.
Yeah.
You got to be grown at the end of the day, man. You ain't doing nothing but hurting the kids, bro. That's it.
Yeah, man. It's tough, man. And like I said, man, we have to, it's about the kids. So first and foremost, you got to make sure that you keep the child first, and keep that in the front of whatever interaction you're having with that person. Because once, like you said, you cannot stay solid. Yeah, you cannot, you can't paint a picture, you can't talk bad, it can't demean. You got to make sure to be careful. You got to be, and you got to think through those things prematurely too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't wrap your mind around the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, Ashley Larry, if you ain't watch, I just watched it this morning when I was doing my workout. So
you talking about Donnell Rawlings?
Donna, yes.
Yeah.
I call him Ashley Larry still. I can't remember his name. But he was just like, he said, you got to deal with an 8-year-old and you got to hold your tongue. So the kid comes to you with exciting ideas. You got to act like it's exciting. So, Daddy, I got an idea. Let's throw a party for mommy. You know what I'm saying? Larry said, fuck that bitch. He's like, that's a great idea. And so you gotta shift it. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of play, you gotta rehearse it so you don't react in the wrong way when those things do come to you with the kids. You gotta start to wrap your mind around how you're gonna approach those things with the kids, because you want to make sure that they do maintain high respect for their other parent regardless, right? Because, like, how they gonna maintain relationship with that other parent is gonna be key. And you know, I know we talk about from the dad side a lot, and I know, you know, every time I'm surprised I ain't seen it yet when somebody say, and the dads too, you know how they do, like the dads do it too, you know how it comes. So it is both sides of the table. You can have these things from the father, but I mean, from us, we know from a father's perspective how much it can affect to not be there, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we both present. Like I remember you and I talking, and you made sure you got your ass down to the beach because you was in Richmond,
bro.
and
What? I was in Maryland.
You were in Maryland. That's
bro,
right.
Listen, for a year straight. I'm sorry, I was in Raleigh. My kids were in Maryland. For a year straight, Rich. Every single weekend, I made 6-hour round trips. I would go up there, 3 hours, pick them up, bring them back to Raleigh on Friday, and then drive back Sunday.
That shit crazy.
But you got to understand, like, everybody got different situations, man. I came from not having my dad in my life. So it won't no way in hell I was going to have my kids go through that. I didn't care what the situation was. But I also, spoke with my kid's mom, and she was, I think the biggest struggle that dudes have is they beef. They beefing instead of trying to talk and just be like, listen, I want to see my kid. We can do it on the schedule that works for you the best. You know what I mean? You can't go in being pushy. And, they're not going to go for that. You already struggling trying to see your kids as is. You think being pushy going to help? Sending crazy texts, throwing subliminals on Facebook and shit. It's just too much extra stuff and not enough focus on what you can do to get your child back in your life. That should be it. Yep. Sometimes you bite your tongue in order to do that. And that's another reason why I respect some of these coaches out here so much, man, because a lot of these kids don't have fathers. They look at these coaches as a father figure. Got coaches up, dropping them off, spending time with them, talking to them about real life shit. And I love women to death, but I'm sorry, a woman cannot give a boy what a father can give a boy. It's just not possible. I can't give my daughter what her mom can give her because I'm not a woman. I don't experience what girls and women experience growing up, but I have experienced things as a boy to a man, so I can teach my son stuff.
I don't know where I stole this quote from, but it was a wise person told me a woman does an amazing job with raising a baby to a boy, but it is a man's job to turn that boy into a man. And that was so key to me because both parties are very important because the nurturing that child needs, the development that child needs, those are man, that's real. Like that, like it's not like you need one or the other. You need both. They need the balance. You know what I'm saying? They need the balance of it. But you got to know the main thing is the main thing. So like from child, baby to the boy, mama's gonna be probably 70%, because that's just what it is. We're not as nurturing, we're not as soft, we're not as cuddly. And those babies need that when they can't communicate, when they can't. Mamas can just feel it. That's that intuition. They know what the hell wrong with him. The baby that it looked like something in his eyes. He's sick. Like they just be seeing stuff. We ain't gonna see all of that. So for
the first 2 years, I just used to watch her breastfeed the kids. You know what I mean? Hold them for about 10, 15 minutes, and then they crying. They right back to mom. So I definitely feel you on that.
And that connection that they have from, carrying that child for 9 months allows them some to have a lot more patience with it, a lot more understanding with it. Which makes them just better at that time of that child's life. But then once they get to that age where they start to get a little test, and that happens at different ages. Like some kids, like RJ is he's still more of a friendly kid. He's not really getting into too much. Right? It's like we play sports. He got a lot of his friends, but he ain't getting into no like tough that next level stuff that you got to get with.
It's coming. Don't worry about it.
I know you already said King getting a little testy out there. But but you want that, man, and you enjoy seeing that. We were at practice the other day, and they tussling over the ball, and the boy like looked at RJ, and RJ ran up and was like, "What's up?" I was like, "Okay, there you go. I ain't seen that before." So you want him to be a man. You want him to start to see that, and mamas will be like, "No, you." That's another thing, right? You see moms out there, but actually one of the moms was like, "I like that." So you got some moms that are double dutying out here these days too that have to kind of do and I think that moms are doing their best to double duty it, and it's no knockdown at all. But at the same time, it's just not the same coming from up.
Do you know how hard it probably is for some of these women who got 2 or 3 kids who have had to raise children for 18 years straight, 365 days a year on their own, bro?
Man, these were tough.
I get my kids. We not in court, no papers, nothing like that. We come up with agreements. I live 6 minutes down the street from my kid's mom. So we just do every other night. And then some nights, you know, they might go with them. But it's times where I keep my kids 3 days in a row and I'm ready to drop them off on the highway somewhere. You know what I mean? I've gotten so comfortable with co-parenting it and getting a break. Like it's almost become a curse because I'm so used to having them for these amount of time, but I know my piece is coming. You know what I mean? A day or two, I get to drop them off with their mom and kind of breathe a little bit. So any woman who don't have any help or any man who doesn't have any help, my head coach got full custody of his son, bro. I respect the hell out of that dude. Full custody. Out here coaching 20 plus other kids. Got his son full time working, providing for his kid. He got 2 kids, but he's got his oldest full time. Any parent who got to do it on their own, man, you got to salute that. No matter if it's a woman or a man, that's a tough task.
Look, so you know that's that. So I got RJ full time. His mom is in Hampton. She's an hour and a half away, so she's definitely involved. Definitely comes through, you know. But it's just a distance thing for us. If she was 6 minutes, you know what I'm saying? I know she would be there. It's just the dynamics of how I split is. It ain't an opportunity for it. So I'm keeping the peace. Look at my growth. Making sure I keep all the peace with the conversation. I ain't talking bad. I know somebody texting her right now. The nigga about to go in on you, Tiff. Nah, she good. She's a great mom. But I do have him, you know, every single day. Right. And then he plays sports. So even when I don't have him, I have him because I'm coaching him. Oh, you go with your mom on Friday for the weekend, but then we got a game on Saturday and Sunday. So then so it's like, you know what I'm saying? But that co-parenting is key because if she need to stay at the crib, she can stay at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't tripping on that. Like, you know, however it is, he got to see his brother. He need to go out there and see his brother. Like, I want to make sure that it's all maintained and even as much as possible. But like you said, you got to create strong situations because and scheduling is tough. Like I really don't know how anybody with the job does it.
Right. That's the thing.
Like I'm blessed. I talk my shit, but like when I was actually like out in the working world before I started my company, and I started my company because I didn't want to miss anything with RJ. I knew it was gonna be a time where like I was in sales. So Saturdays and Sundays was always work for me.
Right.
So, you know, getting out of that, it was like, okay, I got to start my own company to do this. I didn't know it was going to be being a single father. I thought it was going to be more or less just me as a husband too, being more available to, you know what I'm saying, my life and my wife and my son at the time. But it turned into being single dad, single, you know, so coaching and business owner. There's no way I could go to a 9 to 5 and do this if I didn't have like full. I don't know how people do it. I have no idea.
I don't need that. That's why I salute him, man. And you know, I know your kid's mom. And I salute her for, I guess, understanding that it probably is better for a son to go with his father, man, if his father can do that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and going back to what we talked about earlier, I just think that there's certain things that a young boy needs to be around his father. If his father's available financially, able to take care of him and keep him safe, get him where he needs to go. Like, I salute a woman who can see that. Like, you know what? Maybe he is better off having full custody with you. So
I think a lot of people would do it if they could. I think a lot of them don't have that, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the option. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a picture painted a lot that, you know, women are keeping these kids from, you know, not to say a lot, but sometimes there's a picture painted that, you know, the women's keeping the kid from the daddy or whatever. But like a lot of times she knows your ass and she knows you weren't capable of doing this on your own. You weren't responsible enough in the household to do this on your own, and they know that they have to step up to do it. Otherwise, it'll be a mess. I know some guys that got some kids, and I don't understand. I understand why the mamas, you know what I'm saying, not gonna leave them over there. Just how you move, your habits, the things that you do, you know, how you talk, how you interact. Like, you have to have a level of maturity, and you got to be prepared to take on that child full time too. Like that's a big difference, man.
Thing though, bro, you got to understand, we older too, right? We're not old, but I didn't have King till I was 34, so I was already in a stage in life where I was okay. I was good. I had a good career. I was financially stable. Now, if I'd have had King at 26, like 26, I was still trying to figure it all out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yeah. Underdeveloped, like Coach Connors.
Yeah, underdeveloped, and also got another life to take care of. That's tough on anybody, man. Which is why I just feel like, you got to prioritize stuff. If you got a kid, man, you got a son, some of the extra shit you got to learn to cut out.
Yep.
You got to cut out. You can't be smoking blunts around the kid, riding around. You can't do the same stuff that you were doing when you didn't have that child. If not,
hey man, we used to like to smoke blunts. We used to.
I still do.
Outside to save you.
But now I have graduated to edibles now. I'm telling you. Yeah. Son kept asking me why I was smelling like pine trees coming in the house. Yeah.
Man, RJ always said it smelled like Uncle Paul. Paul, everybody know who Uncle Paul is on here. I'm gonna call you out. Uncle Paul would come through, had a whole basement lit.
Yeah, man. Because I don't, even though I do it, it's certain things I don't want my kids growing up doing that. If they get old enough and they decide that's what they want to do, then cool. But I'm not gonna put it in their face so they can see it. And that's me, not knocking anybody on what they do around your child. You do whatever you want to around your child. Just know that every action's got a reaction and a consequence to it. So,
man, we so old school though. I think weed is so much more accepted these days. Like I made a comment the other day. I walked into the damn basketball gym, and it smelled like somebody had lit that joint up inside there, bro. So they're around it and they smell it, especially because now Virginia being legalized.
Legal, right?
Have you thought about that conversation? Or like,
what? A couple of guys I know have had that conversation because it is legal now. And like myself, I got anxiety, diagnosed with anxiety. I had a lot of shit happen in my life when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I could, I could go get a prescription card if I want to and tell my son, hey, this is medicine. You know what I mean? But still, at the end of the day, I just don't want him to get intrigued by it. They're already intrigued by enough stuff, man. You turn on you're watching little baby videos all day, you know what I mean? And just that type of lifestyle and things that are going around. I've been in that lifestyle. I know how intriguing it can be to a young kid. It looks so exciting. All that shit looks cool.
Right.
But I'm not gonna put it in my child's face. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I can't, I won't, I refuse to, obviously, especially with, anybody know my baby mama, Lord have mercy. I wouldn't have had so, I try to make sure I do all I need is RJ going back talking about that. But I've had a conversation with him about the edibles though, because I want to clarify and make sure he didn't make a mistake. And like I said, it is medicine. At the end of the day, the easiest way, and this is just what I did. And I also, I'm gonna talk about something else I talked to my mom about a little bit ago with the weed. So like the conversation was, it's medicine. And if you have regular medicine, so I tied it into a regular medicine. And I've got the card, I got the prescription. I might have my joint in here, matter of fact. Let me see.
Yeah, that's not the bag.
Yeah. So I got the prescription, I got my name on it. All my stuff is on here. This is all labeled. So I can show him, have a conversation about this is a prescription drug, right? So when you go to the doctor, they give you a prescription and you have this. Now, there's people that have it that don't have prescriptions, and that's when you can get into the weeds, and I'm explaining to him the difference. But regardless, you can't touch this until you over 21, and regardless, you can't touch it until you after playing football.
Right. And I don't knock that, man. I'm very honest with both my kids. I always, and me and their mom kind of go back and forth on stuff. I always been a blunt person, bro. Like I can't help it. I'm sometimes I'm too blunt.
Blow.
I think because I did so much lying and snake shit when I was younger. I just like to be super honest and upfront with everybody. Yeah. Because I feel like if you put it on the table, they know what to expect. So, I don't knock any dad who wants to tell their kid like, hey, this is medicine. I use it. I'm not gonna do that yet. I don't feel like I'm ready for that yet with him.
I didn't think I was ready until, like I said, at the end of the day, I just thought about if he was to see this, I want him to know the difference. Or if he had a friend over, because I mean, I don't leave nothing out or anything like that, but kids just get into shit. You know what I'm saying? And they could be going, and so if you say, to me, it was like, let me have this upfront conversation, and it was ironic. He like a regular bag of like some gummies, but because I don't leave nothing around, so just a regular bag of gummies. And he was like, "These not the ones right there. This not medicine, right?" And I'm like, "That's that heightened level, but also keep him from because you got these other kids." And so, like, my thing was, if you don't have the conversation with them first, somebody else might have it with them. Or some of these damn kids, man, that they got underdeveloped, folks around them, leave their stuff out, and bring this around and say, "Oh, here, you should try this." RJ knows that now, hell no. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just be on some BS. So I just wanted him to know, like, not to touch it. I had a friend of mine, won't name his name, had his gummy on the counter in his bedroom. And he turned around and looked, and half the gummy was gone.
No.
And he looked at his son. That man said his son was laid on the bed with his hands behind his head, with his feet up, looking zooted. He said he
Yo, I ain't trying to laugh at that, man.
Bro, it's crazy. And I had somebody else, their daughter got into them and ate like 3 of them joints.
Man.
So I'm just like, they's candy, bro. If it looks like candy, I got to make sure they know not to touch that because that's scary. It's weed. So at the end of the day, and because I do know people that's been through it, if they did too much, it can affect them, but I've seen it from somebody else where 3-year-old had some weed. She didn't have any reactions. She was fine. The baby was good. She had to drink plenty of water and chill, but she was high as gas. And the little boy, he was like, they was in the hospital walking past the daggone snack machine. He said, "Man, my son don't even eat sweets." So I said, "Daddy, can I get a honey bun?"
Boy, zooted.
Zooted, bro. So yeah, man, it's just, everybody handles it, but I wanted to make sure that he don't make the mistake of getting out here with somebody that does have them or being around a situation that, which is
I respect it, man.
It's outside, man. Youth football games need to put a rule out though, because it's just too loud at the games, man.
It's impossible, man. It's impossible. You can't stop it, bro. It's impossible. I mean, they not. Are they doing metal detectors and searches at the gate?
They need to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people would feel. People might take that the wrong way. I
know for a long time they were doing it. I know for a long time they were doing the metal detectors at the basketball games in Richmond.
Right.
Like you had to walk out, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, that was for a while. I mean, I don't know if they still doing it, but I mean,
they keep acting the way they've been acting, they'll have them at every field.
Yeah, because I mean it goes down. I mean, man, dude, last night. All right, so Chesterfield rec football. Let me talk Chesterfield. Every time I talk Chesterfield, they get a little. But bro, we had the basketball game last night. So I won't name associations. I'll leave that out. I'm gross, man. My thought process is so good. But I'm proud of bro, we're growing. So 2 orgs playing basketball last night. RJ had a late game last night. So I will say Chesterfield disappointed. We had an 8:15 game. Wow. And of course, when you got an 8:15 game, everything's gonna happen to lengthen that time of that joint, right? So we in here. The game before us is intense, bro. I mean, the team is losing by like 8, but they are they trying to run, and the other team is just fighting them off. They're trying to run, but they were some big boys. Right. And the team had a girl on the team. One of the boys looked like Zion. I call him Zion, bro. He looked like Zion, thick, but he was all over the place. He was athletic. He was bouncy. He could get to the rack. He using his body. And these are 12, bro. So you got some slim 12s, but this boy was my size. You know what I'm saying, bro? I told her, dude, so one of the, like I said, it's a girl on the team. She goes up. Boy bodies her. Boom. She hits the ground. Her, I guess it's her dad, jumps out of the crowd, bro. Getting ready to go fight the kid.
Why? Hold on.
Getting ready to go fight the kid.
But they let girls play with boys at that age?
Legit, bro. She is legit. She was fine. But I get. I mean, I had.
But I didn't know that they allowed that. They still.
I guess if she nice enough, they let her do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? She probably was just too much for the, like, she was balling. You know what I'm saying? She was good, but she was, you know what I'm saying, from a stature wise, and like she wasn't like, I ain't gonna say she was small, like she wasn't like no little bitty girl out there. Like she was the size of, you know what I'm saying? She just was like, this boy was thick to the boy. He was knocking boys down too. You know what I'm saying? So he just happened to knock this man's daughter down. And then the daddy and him just, so I can kind of get it, but you have your girl in the position where she's playing out here with boys.
There you go.
Yeah, this boy is probably 200 pounds, bro. He's 12 years old. He had to be every bit of 200, about 5'8", 5'9", 200 with 12s. And she's probably a $105. And so, boom, she hit the ground, and he kind of flexed on it, right?
Oh.
Jumps out, bro. So we grabbing the dude, trying to take him out the way, pulling him off. Man, it's a whole debacle. Let me go. We outside. We outside. So, like, when he first jumped up and they started grabbing him, bro, I'm going to tell you about little young Zion. My computer about to die, so we're going to jump off here in a minute. But, yeah, young Zion turns around and was like, what you going to do? And flex back at the old man, bro. Man, listen, bro. Man, these kids wild, bro. So then that set him off again. So he trying to attack the kid. Man, the police called up there and everything last night, man. Just man, basketball. Come on, man.
The coaches ain't the problem in youth sports, bro. It is the parents. It is the parents.
100%.
The parents. It is the parents, man. And it's such a fine line to walk. Everybody's gonna be emotional over their child. Everybody thinks their child is this and that. Everybody feel like their child should be playing more. Emotions be high at the games, bro. It's the social media. I think that plays a part into it.
Ain't no thing. That's a big part.
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. That's why. And I sometimes I find myself getting drugged into it a little bit. Like, and I see, I'll be like, man, you gotta relax. You gotta relax. It's when the last time you heard somebody be like, man, that boy was cold at 8. Remember what he did today? Remember what he did today?
No, I think we talked about, I've been an excitable guy, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. And like I literally had to do it myself. Like that was a big part of my growth over the last 2 seasons, was saying, this shit ain't that serious.
It ain't.
Of course, we want the best for our kids, but honestly, like these moments that we get wrapped up in are not that important. They're moments. They're gonna pass. It's gonna be plenty of time for these kids to grow, develop, get past this, and there's life lessons learned within all of it. So I think you can't really skip any of the lessons or any of this part of the path of the process. You got to kind of let it just go and understand that all bricks and blocks towards what's going to happen for these kids long term. You know,
it should be about development, and that's all. Like I even had to get to a point where, and I ain't trying to toot my son horn or nothing, but I feel like King could go play anywhere around here and start at quarterback. But I was more concerned about him being around kids who were going to push him and challenge him, kids who were better than him athletically, kids who were more physical than him, because I knew that was going to make him better and bring out another side of him. I don't care, bro. I care about playing time, but I don't care. I don't care about my son being a star at 8 years old. Nobody even keeps stats in this shit. So, you know, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about development. It's about putting your child in the best place that you feel like is the best place. Like all that loyalty shit, the orgs and all that, man, nobody want to hear all that shit. Loyal to who when I pay registration?
I think I'm on org 8 at this point. they like, you know, we're loyal to FLi Boys, man. That's what I'm loyal to. That's how you gotta do, because you can't tell me to be loyal to an org when every year coaches are in and out. Every year leadership is in and out. Every year it's a different league. So it's too many things that go into the equation for you to think I'm going to stay in this one particular place, in this particular position. And a lot of teams, they don't like you playing more than one place.
Whatever org I'm with, and we rocking with them 100%. But if something changes the next year, I shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be no hard feelings between anybody. This is my child. If I see a better fit for him somewhere else, I'm gonna put him there because I pay registration.
Exactly. And so, I mean, you made the comment like, you know, making sure you was putting them in a place where it was great competition. I wanted to kind of touch back on that before we got too far. Like how now, so King, You and I would talked about because at first you weren't really too big on him getting involved with it at first, and then you like King just a big ass kid. I was like, bro, King big enough.
It is
He,
big.
you know, what I'm saying? He could get out here and get busy, bro. He gonna be just fine. And I know you were kind of waiting on it, and then once you got him out there, do you think that it's important? I utilize this on my side, but do you think it's important for him to be able to go somewhere and get his rocks off? You know what I'm saying, and be the best on the team, and I mean not to say the best on the team, but like be able to just go get his rocks off. Like I put RJ in certain situations because like here we have a bunch of different leagues,
Right.
right? And so some of the leagues, and I usually it's not even just about the league for RJ. He always plays up.
Right.
Always played up. So just in order to get that bump, that competition, because he's so quick and
Right.
agile that I try to put him somewhere where he does get challenged.
Right.
But then it's like because he's playing with 10-year-olds or 12-year-olds, it's like he's 8. He just
Right.
turned 8.
Right.
So then when I put so like now, like, all right, we get ready to go into this spring. And I didn't put him on in the under the lights on the first or second grade team because he would have just ran through it. But I
Right.
am going to let him play 8U for my flag for the rise. And I just feel like he needs to be able to get his confidence up so you see what you're doing against that level. So it's like as much as I challenge him, I got to keep the fun factor. It's like, all right, now we do all that. Go get your rocks off. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want him to lose the love for the game.
Yeah.
I put it like this. Like I said, like my main objective, like King's serious about sports. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's still 9, but I've had the conversation with him because I asked him, is this something you really enjoy doing? Is this something you want to do in middle school? Is it something you want to do in high school? Yes. It's something I'm serious about. Okay, then we're gonna work serious. You can't, and I feel like in order to work serious, you need to have your kid in an organization that has structure. People not just pulling up to practice, just going through the motions. It's you got positions, you got individual period, you got kids playing where they're supposed to be playing and not just putting them at running back because they're the biggest, fastest dude on the team. I want my kid to be in a position where he's going to be developed and be able to be ready for whatever the next level is. But I also want him to be challenged. I don't see a benefit of having your kid on the team and he's the best unless he's the best of the best. Like I feel like if I put him on a team where he's not the best, King, bro, it's so many athletes on our team.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like athletes, like these kids, they dogs, more agile, way more aggressive. You know what I mean? So I just looked at it like that. I was like, if I put him over there, it's going to strengthen him in those areas that he may not be as strong as. He still has his strengths that he brings to the team, but he's always challenged because over there, it's you gotta win to play. Yep. It ain't no get on the field. You got to earn that shit to get on the field over there. And every day practice is a challenge, bro. It's a challenge. So I just always want him to be challenged. I also always want him to be learning. And I also want him to be around a positive atmosphere. I don't need people that practice smoking blunts and it smell like a pound of weed and, it's real ratchet. Now, don't get me wrong. I get a little ratchet myself. You know what I mean? But it's got to be some structure, right? It's got to be some structure anywhere that I take him, man. That was kind of one of my biggest things. I feel like the Bulls, man, what they're doing over there, it's a great organization. Everybody's on the same page. It's like a family atmosphere, and we only been there 6 months, bro. We do things off the field together. It's not just practice and leave. It's events. It's pizza parties. It's every time one of the kids on the team has a party. Guess what? The whole squad pulling up. We all pulling up. It's a family vibe. The kids are making great relationships with each other. And these kids are going to be playing together for all the way through high school. I think that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
You're developing relationships with kids that might last a lifetime, man. It's got to be positive. It's got to be structured, and it's got to be challenging. That's my main 3 things.
Yeah, I like the Bulls, man. Bo and them down there with the 7U and Diggy, those my guys, man. We met, they rolled up on us when we went down there for a scrimmage, man, and just, the energy, them, the way they care about what they do, is what stuck out for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really care about the kids, they care about what they do, and they want to win, but like you said, it's I can see that they really care about what they're doing down there.
Boys, bro, man. Big and Bo, and all them, they locked in. Dig pop a lot of shit on play action and Facebook. He gonna
He
troll
locked in.
death. But he's I see it with my own eyes, man. They are for those kids. They
Yep.
understand football. They
Yep.
work with the kids.
Yep.
You know, they really build relationships with the kids. They challenge the kids. I love what they're doing, man. And you see the pickup they just had.
Who they get?
What? They just got the cheetah. East End.
The
Corey,
cheetah from where?
huh?
Where is he from?
The cheetah from East End. Number
From
0.
East End Tigers?
Yes.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, he's with the Bulls now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How they pull that off?
Man, I don't know. Hey, man, listen.
Move down there?
But you know, he was with the Wolfpack before. He was with the Wolfpack last spring, because I remember when I shot one of their games, he was playing running back with Slide.
Okay.
And then I guess his dad decided to move him to Richmond, and then he started playing with East End in the fall. But I don't know what happened to East End. Is Jamal or is what's it called still coaching, or he stepped down?
Everybody should be there. Everybody should be there. Everybody should be there. I got East End. East End's in my 7-on-7. So
okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they still together as an org in general. I don't know the coaching dynamics right now.
Yeah, but he with the Bulls, man.
Wow.
Yeah, yep.
We're gonna get I'm gonna have to get Diggy on the live. Diggy got to pull up. So I know we going, you know, for this year, just because of our org situation, we're going Metro this year. So Metro is not going, obviously it's not AYF, it's not UIF. So we'll have to schedule those games. So I'm gonna get with Diggy so we can schedule those outside games.
Yeah.
And get down there, get a few showcase games going. Cause I love the bump down there, man. Like you guys, 757. Now it's just different, right? Because y'all have multiple charters of the UIFL down there.
Right.
And in Richmond, we have 2 major local charters. So or 2 major local leagues that, you know what I'm saying, are very well run. CQL is very well run. And Metro is very well run. You know, both the people that's in charge of both of the leagues are great guys, and they're doing a good job. So they run the majority of the football, and it's just not a lot of travel. So you got the AYF and the UIF that's now starting to bubble out and bring some of these orgs in. But I love because it's multiple UIFL charters, y'all have a lot of representation on the national level. And I think
did we lose Richie Rich? My man just spinning. I don't know what's going on, folks. I think his phone might have died. Or his laptop. Yep. Dang. Well, I got to jump on the call anyway.